All right, we are live. So pardon my voice because it's really scratchy. So sorry if it's hard to hear. But I'm so excited because Jackie, Amanda, and I just got back from the first ever It Works cruise. And we got to meet so many amazing people while we were there. And so we just thought it would be a really good idea for all of us to share kind of our aha moments from the cruise with you. I know all of us got a lot out of it, but all of us, when we were talking, got completely different things out of it as well. So I thought that was really super awesome. So I first want to say, though, that one of the things that really caught me off guard was that I talked to so many people who were rubies, and some people weren't even rubies, but a lot of people that were on that cruise signed up for the business this summer. And I thought that was like, not only like knock your socks off cool, but I thought that that was awesome to show, everyone that it doesn't matter, who you are. Like, anybody can do this business, and we just have to hustle. But anybody can do this business. So I thought that was really, really awesome. I thought it was going to be, I felt so privileged to be there, and I've been in the business, 2 years. So I thought when I got there, it was going to be like everyone that had been in the business for a really long time, and it wasn't like that. So I'll just jump in though and share with you guys what I got from it. So what I got from it in talking to a lot of other people, I asked every single person how they were building their business, what they did to build, and what they did to help their teams build. And honestly, there's so many different ways. Every single person I talked to gave me something different. I talked to people who were like, all I do is Instagram. That's all I've ever done. I talked to other people that said all they ever did was Facebook. Or one lady, she's only done like Facebook ads, which that's expensive. So I don't, unless you're wanting to throw down a lot of money and know what you're doing. She's a marketing person, so she knew, but she's only done Facebook ads. I talked to a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people that still work this like total belly to belly, and they just do wrap party after wrap party after wrap party, and they just make sure that every time they leave a party or every time they're talking to someone, they're trying to book a party and just keep meeting people and getting those people to book parties. And then every time they sign someone, they'll go do their parties. And they actually have, you're doing, a few parties a week. They're having crazy success because it's that face-to-face business time. So, but the cool thing is that everybody was sharing these tips, and everyone did it so different. The one thing that every single person had in common that I was talking to is that none of them ever stopped. They did not slow down. They did not say, oh, like, I'm having a bad week, I'm not going to do this. They all stayed so consistent with their business, and they all were self-motivated. So they weren't, they weren't the negative Nancy's. Like, these women, you talk to them, and like, they are going places. You know why they have gotten somewhere, and it's because they have that fire within them, and they're not letting anyone stand in their way. They're going after it. So it was awesome to be around so many powerful business people that, like I said, come from all different backgrounds. It was amazing. It was amazing. Every time I do an event with the company, I am always blown away by the friendships I make so quickly, and how wonderful and loving everyone is, and also, honestly, how amazing, like Mark and Pam and Mike, Cindy, all of them are, and how much they care about everyone in this business. So that is what I brought back for you guys. And if Jackie or Amanda, you want to share what you brought back?
Yeah. Do you want me to go, or do you want me to go? Okay.
Amanda, you can go, because I'm going to talk about a couple of special things coming up in January, so I'll go last just to round it out.
That sounds perfect. Am I echoing? No? Okay. Okay, so I just have to say that it was just the entire time on this cruise, I felt like I just had goosebumps the entire time because I just couldn't believe just how positive everybody was and just how, you know, people, like Caitlin said, everybody was after something. Like everybody was positive and goal-oriented, like-minded people, and so I just thought it was just the most amazing thing. So I definitely recommend, you know, if they do this in the future, that we just all bust our butts to get on there again and just make our, you know, our team. So anyways, I wanted to start off and just say a little quote, and it's value the struggle. It's here to help you get stronger, not run away. And one of the things that I took back was, again, just like Caitlin said, everybody has different stories. Everybody runs their business differently. It's not one way, you do it this way, this is how it's going to work, because I realized that what one method may work for somebody, it's not going to work for the other. So, so for instance, like, you know, I built my business off of Facebook. I cold message people and, you know, do that kind of thing. But I've talked to people who have tried doing that and it doesn't work for them. So what they may have done, you know, is completely different. So, and I'll get into a couple different things because I picked their brains exactly what people, you know, did in that kind of thing. But I did notice that one thing in common was that every single person in this business has had some kind of struggle. And they could have, I guarantee they wouldn't be on this boat if they would have, but they could have just given up after that struggle and just, you know, walked away and said, you know, this isn't for me, that kind of thing, but they wouldn't have been on that boat. So every single person has been through a struggle in their business, and they found a way to get over it and just keep moving and keep working their business, going over those bumps and humps, because what they found, that struggle has made their business, you know, even that much stronger, because they know what to look for. They know how to, you know, tell their distributors underneath them like what to watch for, and let them know that, you know, it's not just an easy, you know, cakewalk. There are going to be bumps and struggles along the way, but it's what we do with those struggles that are going to make, you know, our business be successful or not successful. So I thought that was really cool, and it just kind of, you know, it makes you feel like, wow, like this ambassador, oh my gosh, like how did they do that? Or this presidential, or this, you know, double diamond, triple diamond, like how did they do that? And, you know, every single one of them said, you know, there is bumps along the road, and it is, you know, hard work, but if you do it, like Caitlin said, consistency every single day, then you'll get there. And once you get there, it's just the most rewarding, you know, reaping thing that you could ever feel and ever imagine. So so I thought that was really, really neat. Now when I met somebody, you know, I would pick their brains, and even if, like, you know, they were ruby or, you know, emerald, diamond, double diamond, you know, all the way up to ambassador, I would pick their brains and say, you know, how did you build your business? And I did find that, you know, they would either do Facebook or Instagram. They would either do some sort of social media, or they would do, you know, lots of parties. And if they did some sort of social media, they would do it a couple different ways as well. Some people just did cold messaging, and it was great because that's what I do, and so I got to pick their brains about, you know, different methods that they did. And so, but some people, like I talked to one ambassador, and she was picking my brain about how I cold message people. And what she did, she tried cold messaging, and it did not work for her. So what she does, and she got 87 loyal customers in 1 month, you guys. And this is what she did. She posts, she did her mostly on Facebook at the time. She does Instagram now, but at the time it was Facebook. And she posts, you know, anywhere from 8 to 12 times a day. And not just, you know, cheesy, you know, before and after pictures or anything like that, but real, like, personal, thoughtful posts. She posts, you know, 8 to 12 times a day, and she never cold messaged it at all. But what she did was every time somebody liked her post or commented on it, she messaged them and, you know, followed up with them. And so, you know, and that just worked for her. Now, is that going to work for everybody? No, but you know, it did work for her, and it does work for a lot of people. And then the other way is just So I would say like messaging, that's what I got out of it, like cold messaging people, adding to your network, that kind of thing. And then the other thing was from, I found a lot of people were just posting a lot and then going off of their likes and comments. And then the third big one was just like the parties. A lot of people who really, got to either double, triple, presidential or ambassador super, super fast. It seems like they were nonstop doing parties. So, so that was really cool getting, the different ways of people building their business and that kind of thing. But just like Caitlin said, the one thing that they all had in common was they went past those struggles. They did not, they didn't quit after they hit a little bump. They just kept going, and they never gave up. They worked their business every single day. Even if it was only 10 or 15 minutes, they were consistent with their business every single day. And you talk to these people, and they are positive. They set goals. They set, they structure their business, and it's not just, something on the side for them. So that was really cool too, just seeing that people, just the consistency and that people were so goal oriented. And you would never say, like, you would never hear one person say, like, I don't have any goals this month, so I'm just going to see how it goes. Like, every single person had, certain goals that they, were going after and that kind of thing. And then one other thing that I don't remember who it was, but I know a couple of different of the leaders were saying that that when they have a distributor sign up to keep their business going and keep that momentum going in their business, like what they would do is that very first day that that distributor signed up, they would book their launch party within the next 10 days. And I thought that was amazing because that's honestly one thing that I have fallen short with, especially for those out-of-town people. I forget about the launch parties. And so, I might say, okay, let's book a launch party, but then, people get busy. So what they do is they don't, like, as soon as that person signs up, they get on the phone with them and they schedule a launch party within that next 10 days with them. So I thought that was amazing. And I for sure am going to, take that tip to my business and start doing that. Let's see. Oh, and then one other thing. So when you're talking to, like, so when people are high enrollers with their distributors, or even when they're just a distributor, getting any kind of distributor, following their steps to success or whatever, what they do with any potential distributor that I was finding out is they would ask them, what do you want out of this business? And I know Jackie does this too, because I know she's mentioned it before, but I thought it was really cool and just kind of an eye-opener that so many people do this. And instead of, feeling eager that you just want that distributor and, gosh, I need another distributor, like, and feeling desperate and seeming desperate towards those people, like, they kind of reverse it and just say, like, I want to make sure you're a good fit for my for this business. So what do you want out of it works? What are you wanting out of it? Are you just wanting to get products for free? Do you want to make, a couple $100 extra a month? Or are you wanting to, retire yourself? Are you wanting to stay home with your kids? That kind of thing, because that's going to let you know exactly where, you're going to go with that person and how you're going to build your business with that person. So I thought that was a really cool tip that a lot of the leaders did also.
Oh, and I wanted to add on to that because that same, sorry guys, hard to hear myself. But the other thing that leader said was that she asked, like, how much time that they can put into it. So
Yes.
if they're, when she's asking them not only what they want out of it, but then she's like, okay, how much time every day or every week can you give into this? Because, if they're like, well, I can put in, maybe 30 minutes, but, and they start giving you, like, but I have this on this day and that on that day and all this going on, then you're kind of, that lets you know, okay, like, this isn't a priority. So even if they're like, I want to make, an extra $500 a month, I'll change my family's life, but then they're saying, but, Tuesday doesn't work, and Thursday is this bingo, and Wednesday I take my kids here. Like, they're already coming up with excuses of why they don't have time. So that lets you know right away. You can say, well, I'm going to tell you right now, maybe you can make enough, like to cover your product every single month, or maybe I can offer you, products as a loyal customer, because she said she'll say that a lot too. She'll say, honestly, but this amount of time, I don't think this is for right now for you. So why don't we just get you set up as a loyal customer? So I thought that was really good too.
Yeah, that is. And then just the last thing, I felt like everybody on the boat were just, the way they presented themselves, the way that their attitude was, how positive people were, like that just goes to show, like every single person, their demeanor, like the way that their positive attitudes and their energy and their confidence shows so much of how that's a huge part of the reason why they are where they're at. Is their confidence, their energy, and their attitudes. And, I didn't meet one person who was negative about the business or, had a down attitude or anything like that, because I just feel like the attitude that you give out to people, your energy that you give out to people, confidence has such a huge part in this business. And every single person on that boat were the most energetic, positive, outgoing, not so much outgoing, but just their energy was just so genuine and just, just vibrating. And so I think that had a lot to do with, the reason they're there. And I think that has a lot to do with people's success. So that was it. It was so fun. I hope that more of you guys can go next year.
That was so fun. Does anybody, I don't know about Vogue, Caitlin, and Amanda, but I felt like the room was swaying for at least all of yesterday. And
even for sure. I did too.
I was like rocking myself like a baby.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that I took away, and when we were kind of discussing this call or this hangout, like what to talk about. And again, I'm so sorry I sound like Kermit the Frog or a man or something here, but I guess this is kind of a cliche thing to say, everyone's journey is their journey, but honestly, that couldn't be more the truth. I had a lot of time that I spent not only with not just upper leaders, but like even like Caitlin said, there were new rubies there. There were emeralds there. There was so many diamonds. It was diamonds popping out of everywhere. And so, excuse me. Everyone's journey really is their journey, and I think comparison is a thief of joy, and I'm the worst one. I'm sitting there. This is what comes to mind when I think of this. So I was sitting in the hot tub one day, and it was me. It was all of us, and I was talking to, because you kind of go to where your rank is. So I was talking to some of the presidentials because I'm like curious. I'm like, how long did it take you to get there? And it was awesome hearing their stories. Like I have, my friend Alicia, who's like 11 months, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're the one I like compare myself to. I'm like, okay, 2.5 years over here. But then I have, another girlfriend who, by the way, like these girls said, you meet these people and you're instant friends with them. It's awesome. Like I knew this girl for 10 minutes, and I swear I felt like I knew her for years. But she had the same struggles as me. She went the same time as me in August. Hers was 2 years as well. I know there were presidentials that took 4 years. There were, and I'm only using presidential because of course that's what I'm comparing myself to right now. And I say don't compare, but we're all human. So what it really reminded me of is that, we can't compare what we're going through with what somebody else is going through. And I think your why has a lot to do with that. When your why is very strong, you're going to go a lot faster. That's why they say if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not, it's not big enough. So, I just think of some of those people who gunned it. They were going through bankruptcy. There was a lot of things going on, and that doesn't have to be the only thing. But when you hear everyone's stories, it's just really crazy to hear how they progressed from A to B and what their reasons were for going so quickly. So I believe in your momentum and keeping your foot on the gas, but I also believe in keeping it positive and understanding that when you start getting down on yourself because you're not triple diamond in 2 years, you guys we got to be brought back down to reality. Like I've been doing this, well, technically been in the business for over 3 years, but working the business for 2.5, and I get down on myself because I didn't go presidential faster. Okay, so that's the weirdest thing in the world to say to yourself, because you're making 6 figures in 2.5 years in a job. I never would have made 6 figures in my whole career as a nurse, you guys. Like all of us, most of us would never make 6 figures in 30 years of putting in work at some place. But we have the ability to make 6 figures and $500,000 a year as an ambassador in, 2 to 5 years. Like, that's crazy when you really think about that. So when you start getting mad at yourself or down on yourself because you're not a certain rank by a certain time, bring yourself back to reality. Realize that you will be that rank. Don't say don't say I'll try. Say I will. You will be that rank, and know that this is a job, a business, all of the above, that will pay you more than any other, regular job would ever consider giving you. And plus, it gives you 6 figures and all of the above without, $200,000 in student loans for an advanced degree. So know that it's okay to take time. Know that it's okay to that you are going to have people quit. The other thing that was really interesting is I know we all complain about, we signed so and so and they're not working, or I have a whole team. I feel like I only have one person working. Well, guess what? That's pretty normal across the board after talking to everybody. And I'm talking presidentials, ambassadors on up, who have about, I would say, between 1 to 4 runners, depending upon, on their entire organization. And like I said, those are presidentials and ambassadors. So unfortunately, you have to get used to people not working. That's human nature. Those runners don't come along every day, and you're going to have to sign 10 people who probably won't work to find that one runner. And once you realize that, and don't ever give up on anybody. I'm not saying they won't be a crucial part of your organization, but it takes a special person to stick it out and to go forward with this business, because like Amanda and Caitlin said, it isn't easy. Nothing worth having is easy, and you really got to know that it's unique to find. That's why hanging out with like-minded individuals is so crazy. Like, this trip was so mind-blowing, because hanging out with 2,000 people that all felt the same way that we did, being able to talk to them and whatever. So it's rare to find people that have the drive and motivation and mentality that we have. And so that's why corporate events are so important, you guys. And that's when we say that fire will be lit. It's not because anything, not that corporate's not great. They're amazing. But corporate's not what gives you this. What gives you that momentum and fire is being around your colleagues and being around people that think like you, that want what you want, that have been through the struggles that you've been through, and that can help tell you what's worked for them and what hasn't. And the funny thing is about that is when you start talking to people crying, poor me, that person has a way worse story a lot of times. They're like, oh, you want to hear bad? But they came over the top and persevered. So trust me, nobody had it easy. There's always going to be uphill climbs in this business, and getting to presidential and ambassador ranks does not come with sitting and complaining and whining about those that aren't working. It comes with focusing on those that are and focusing on finding those that will. So I think that's really the biggest thing that it comes down to. And also what Amanda was saying too, and Caitlin, is being consistent. And even if you have bad times, we all have bad times. You know how many people don't talk about dropping rank? Do you know how many people I know that have dropped rank? And I'm talking from VIP elite levels down to double diamond levels, but they've built themselves back up. They could have quit, but they knew what this company had to offer, and they knew that they did it once, they can do it again. So believing in yourself and knowing that there are going to be setbacks and that every month is not going to be perfect, and that's the nature of the business. But if you can ride the wave and know that it's worth it, then that's I would say more than half the battle in all of this. So sorry not to talk too much, but I just want to talk quick about our corporate team, because I can't say enough good things about Mike and Tiffany Patillo. So this is just not funny for you, Vogue, but a little bit of a little talk about an uphill climb. So I invited Vogue on the cruise with me as my guest, and we were so excited. And her first setback, she got stuck in Chicago. This girl had the best attitude. She's like, I'm stuck in Chicago. I guess I'm staying overnight. I don't have my bag, but they said that I'll have it by the time I get to Tampa. So she makes it to Tampa by the skin of her teeth, okay, at check-in time. Runs, checks in. I mean, not the skin, but she was running late. Let's just say it was around 1 o'clock. The boat was leaving around 4, and she gets to Tampa with no luggage, none. She boards the boat. This is a trooper. Boards the boat with no luggage, and goes on this cruise because she knows how important it is to be around. This is an amazing trip, and she's like, I'm not going to miss this trip. Where I'm a jerk, and I would have been like, oh, I'm not going without any luggage, like, okay. So she rolls in with a smile on her face, sets the open seat with no luggage. Luckily, all of us girls overpack. There's Victoria. And so Tiffany, I was talking to Tiffany Patillo and Mike's wife, and she overheard, she heard that Vogue's luggage was lost and she didn't have anything. And so when I talk about our corporate team really caring, all of a sudden we get a knock at the door, our cabin door, and Mike and Tiffany bought Vogue a brand new It Works shirt and delivered that to her room for her so she had something to wear. And I mean, it is a cute shirt, and I think nobody has it yet because Tiffany is the one who designs the clothes. So anyway, that being said, I just want you guys to know, when I say you aren't a number, you are a face, and you are a person, and you are important. You really are important, and they do think the world of all of you, and they did not have to do that for Vogue. That was very, very nice, and I just want you to know what a quality company that you are with, and yeah, it makes me want to cry. I think it was just so nice of them. So anyway, there's a lot more aha moments. We could probably talk for days, but we won't keep you. And I won't subject you to this sound of my voice any longer here. But back to you.
Okay, so that's gonna wrap this up. We have a lot of really exciting things coming up for you guys, as far as further trainings go. And I want you guys to know that we did meet a lot of people. Thank you, Tari. We did meet a lot of people on the boat that I did ask them if they are willing to, jump on some trainings with our team. And, everyone was super excited about it. They would love to come talk to you guys because I know you hear Jackie, Amanda, and I talk all the time. And I would just love to get you guys, in front of some other people, hearing what they do. So we're going to have some of that stuff coming up. Probably next week, Jackie's going to be talking to you guys about what's going to be happening with the potential page.
Forgot about that. Sorry.
No, that's fine. No, we can do that next week because we got to iron out some details on that. And with everyone getting geared up for Christmas right now, we don't want to launch the page right when everyone's traveling for holidays and all that, so that you guys add in your potentials and then they're not involved in the page. So so we're going to talk to you guys about that more next week, and then we're also going to, everyone needs to start gearing up for a 90-day challenge starting in January. So next week we'll go over a 90-day challenge and stuff too, and then Jackie and I have a leadership book we want to talk to you guys about as well. So we have tons of stuff coming your way, so watch out.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing, sorry, really quick. So we did record this tonight, you guys, but we are not going to be recording the trainings. I won't say every single time, but I will say not as often. And we are probably going to be switching to a new medium called Zoom. I need to look into it a little bit further, but that will allow upwards of 50 people to be on a video hangout. And it's not, the reasons are a lot. It's not to be mean, it's not to, but it's we're all human. It's like when we say, oh, we'll watch the training later. I never do it. If I set that time aside, ooh, Amanda, you'll have to teach me that, by the way. Amanda just goes, that's awesome. I'm like, I need help with that. But it's to make you guys accountable for your businesses, not accountable to us, because I'll be honest, we do these trainings, we would love you to be on, but at the end of the day, it only hurts you if you're not, and so we want you to be on them. But I think carving out that time to plug in and to really make time for your business and to interact with your peers, I think is really important. And I think Zoom is going to be a great way to do that, because now that we can have more than 10 people on that, then we'll all be able to talk, and it'll be much more interactive and I think much more helpful. We'll still if there's a newbie to Ruby training that we do or something like that, obviously there's going to be special circumstances or if it's a really special training where we have somebody on, of course, we'll record it then. But for the most part, we really want to try to get everybody talking and a little bit more interactive versus us just like talking at you like this and then, and then it's recorded. And yes, we all have great intentions, but it's like, those people that get married and say they'll take a honeymoon later, they never do. Life gets busy, and, it's like every call every week, I'm like, I'll listen to it later. Do I? Probably not, 90% of the time. So that's what we're going to try. Again, it's only trying. If it doesn't work and it just bombs and everyone hates it, then we'll just kind of we'll try something else. That's what we'll do. So that's,
well,
and then
I want to say thank you, Jackie.
Oh, you're welcome.
For helping me with the wow picture and stuff like that.
You're welcome.
We got customers off of it. That was perfect. That was awesome.
Victoria, your results are amazing. Actually, do you mind if I put that into our team page, Victoria, under the albums for everybody?
Not at all.
Okay,
Not at all.
I will do that. Actually, we could even do a training, Caitlin and Amanda, on how to make before and after photos and submit them. So, oh gosh, our brains are just flowing now. So, okay, we'll write this down.
Cool.
All right, well, that's all I have. So if anyone else has questions, we can open it up, but I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast.